All right, folks, good morning. It's another Thursday in the life of the world. In the Gregorian calendar, it's September the 20th. And this morning, we look at another aspect of our lives as a people, as a polity. The agonizing wait extends for Leah Sharibu. Let's tell you that the British, abduction of the Dapchi girls, this was in February of this year, lingers 7 calendar months on. The battle of nerves between the terror gang, Boko Haram, and the federal authorities endures. 15-year-old Leah Sharibu, one of the supposed 5 or so girls still in the forced custody of the terrorists, is eliciting the best and the worst in all of us as members of the human family. In a bizarre twist, Boko Haram has threatened to kill the luckless girl if it is not paid a yet-to-be-specified amount in 1 month. Seifura Ahmed, one of the 3 Red Cross workers seized since March 1st, had been killed. The federal government is alarmed, and for us, the agonizing wait continues. Let's have a discussion this morning. I introduce my guests. Colonel Tony Inyam is retired and is also a concerned Nigerian. I greet you, Tony.
Thank you.
We have Ibrahim Abubakar. He is a security expert and leads the group executive Save Humanity Advocacy Center. What do you do there?
Human rights and civil rights, basically.
Okay.
And of course, security is part of it at the end of the day.
You're counting your blessings?
Well, by His grace, we've tried our best, we've tried our bit.
Now, how much of the Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP, do we know? We all know that the Mama Nur faction of the Boko Haram is pliable. You can do business with it. But Abubakar Shekau is the other extreme. How much of this group do we know?
You see, when this issue about the no faction came up, what we saw at the time was more like even still the Abubakar Shekau, even if they try to make the public believe that they are all different. When you see that they've been starved at a point and maybe funds are not coming, ammunitions are not coming, they always come up with new tactics.
Oh, no, you just said something now.
Yes.
When being starved.
Starved.
So you mean there's a pipeline feeding it?
Yes, there's a pipeline.
Okay.
Now, if you look at our border from the angle where these guys operate from, which is the Borno axis, the Goza to be precise, you understand, which borders our boundary with Cameroon and Chad. Now, before this multinational joint task force came, we heard about the issue of funds coming in, ammunitions, and all of that before the multinational task force was formed. So at the point when Buhari took over the president in 2015, you saw that the stuff went down, the attacks went down at the point. Then the question is, what then happened again the second time? When no food, no ammunitions, they came up with the issue of there's a different group. And that group claimed to be more lenient, was ready to do business. And that is the group that always comes up and say, okay, with this amount of money or this amount of ransom paid, we can release this. And, so I see all of that.
It's all a ploy?
It's all a plot as far as I'm concerned. I don't see them to be different.
So in other words, the difference between them is the same?
It's the same. It's a business that these people are doing. And there are individuals that are in several quarters that are aiding all this.
Tony, then we must be dealing with a Frankenstein. It started like a child's play in 2002. Have we reached a point of no return?
No, I don't think we have reached a point of no return. They are still human beings, even though they may have gone overboard, as it were. I think what is important right now is the life of Leah Shaibu. And for that, for me, is to appeal.
Sorry, Leah and other hapless girls still in captivity.
Right. But I like to, particularly Leah Shaibu, I cannot shy from that because this was a girl, because of her conviction, she stood out. So for her in particular, I wish to say to the Boko Haram that it will not do them any good if the people fighting for cause to show that they are discriminatory. And if they are also followers of the Quran, which says clearly there's no compulsion in religion. That's what the Quran says.
And it says don't kill.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
The Quran also says don't
That's
kill.
it. So I'm appealing to the Boko Haram. They are human beings like me. Please, you would be doing injustice to your own cause if Leah Shaibu, anything happens to her. That is to the Boko Haram. And to the government, I would say the government should do all it can to ensure that Leah Shaibu is not killed. Because it will be a bad commentary on the government. And of course, so I'm appealing to both sides that the human in them should rise above the beliefs they have.
Whatever the beliefs are. Ibrahim, so what does the group want? Are we able to place a finger on it?
You know, if I go by my own analysis, if you look at the last attack, the attack around Goza that happened, they went to attack farmers. So for them to attack farmers, I believe they are looking for food. And now, this is another desperate attack. This attempt is just a desperate one for them to still show that they are still relevant. So my major concern here is this. All the people that have been asking for the terrorist group to be dealt with kids' gloves, they have to change tactics. You know, so every time you see that Boko Haram is being attacked, Amnesty International, for instance, comes up with the issue of human rights, that these are humans. We have renowned lawyers in this country that are in court defending some of these people and attacking the Nigerian military. And this is another angle that we have to look at. These people are not humans.
Ibrahim, a lawyer's calling is to defend a client.
We understand that, first of all,
Yeah.
in as much as you want to do your job, you should also understand that first you're a Nigerian. And the lives of Nigerians are national security matters. That's what I believe it, first of all. There are lots of things that I believe even...
I hope you are not taking me back to the debate. You know, national security and human rights and all that.
Well, you know, these things, you understand, whether they overlap or they work hand in hand, you understand, we need to understand that. Because we've had issues where people claim that they have links to the sect, which we know their names.
Go-betweens, eh?
Yes. Now, if these people that are always there mediating, why can't they even work on this for us? But they are not doing that. Why should aid workers be killed?
Okay.
Why?
Tony, are you convinced or persuaded that we have go-betweens who will sit, as you and I are sitting, with the terrorists on the one hand and with government officials on the other? Are you convinced?
First of all, let me be very clear.
Yeah.
National security or no national security, the law, the rule of law and human rights comes first.
No.
Can
you win that argument?
Yes, let me
go ahead, do it.
Because you see, we are human first. And we are human first. National state is a human construct. The right of man is first. Now,
within a territory.
Indeed. Now, so when it comes to the issue of saying that we don't, the idea that you can just use force on Boko Haram is misleading. It won't work. Because in every, as soldiers we are trained, as you fight, the political options ends the conflict. So I'm for that the people should be engaged. They should be engaged, and if you arrest Boko Haram people, you have to protect their rights. You cannot tell me that a lawyer is defending a...
No, protecting whose rights here?
No. What I'm saying...
What, no, you said when you are engaging.
No, what I'm saying, when you're engaging, when you engage the terrorists.
Uh-huh.
But even when you arrest a terrorist, it still has rights. If you don't protect them, you exacerbate the conflict. So,
can you cite an international example
of
a government treating terrorists with kid gloves?
No. I've not used the word kid gloves.
No.
I'm saying that, you see.
Excuse my figure of
Yes,
speech.
you see.
America versus Al-Qaeda.
In engaging
Al-Qaeda.
Engaging Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
If you remembered, the American government was criticized when they went overboard in certain incidents, how they treated those they arrested. I am saying that you are more...
At that point, Tony,
you are more
America,
effective.
sorry, at that point, let's make it a dialogue. Yeah. At that point, America was defending its national interest, security, which is key.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
At the same time, if you remember, even in the law courts in the UK, in America, the terrorists won their cases. In other words, you see, you fight an insurgent better if you think you can use all the force
in your arsenal.
It will not work. Because you see, these are people who are fighting for beliefs. So I am saying that as somebody with all humility, who knows what war is, who has some, you have to deal with people, engage them. You know, if you don't engage, you fight them.
I hope Tony is not talking about a conventional war as opposed to a terrorist gambit, which is a different kettle of fish.
Even more so in terrorists, more so, because they are people who are not defending locations or places, they are defending beliefs. More so them. We are trained that in dealing with insurgents or terrorists or guerrillas, that's where the idea of winning the hearts coming more at play.
Or de-radicalizing. Okay, de-radicalizing.
Indeed.
Ibrahim, you must come in here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to his line, you have your mind. Are you for direct engagement with terrorists?
Not at all. Never. Because, you know, when you say these people are fighting for beliefs, let's not forget how it all started. This has nothing to do with belief. And when you have conflict, international conflict and internal, there are two different ways. So I want to believe what you are talking about is about the international angle here, which the approach has to be completely different. These guys, they started by being cheated when this Boko Haram group came up. So they didn't really have any defined ideology.
And perhaps the viewer must understand this. I said Boko Haram started like a child's play.
Exactly.
From the northeast. It had to do with a particular governor and a particular gentleman. When agreements broke down,
indeed,
we're having a monster. So that's what we are talking about. So belief here and the state, they're two different things.
They're two different things.
They're not two different things.
Okay.
Can I say? The belief, what I'm by belief is that I'm not saying that the belief is right or wrong. That's clear.
Yeah, but you must say something.
No, I'm saying that the whole conflict started by where we are now. See, so that we don't, I don't join in sounding too academic. Where we are now is the life of Leah Shaibu that I'm concerned with. That we must do everything to show that that girl's life is saved. And to that extent, I am saying that I'm appealing to Boko Haram. You may say I'm naive, but I appeal to them. Because I know that there's the human blood in them and the human spirit in them, that it...
Except when it becomes difficult for them.
No, it's that there's human blood in them and there's human spirit in them. Good. And that I'm appealing to them that, please, this lady, this young girl, that if they do anything to that, they will lose.
Tony, but killing a hapless, luckless Red Cross worker who had from behind does not tell me they are human. I don't know if it strikes you.
No, I've told you that I am on this mood appealing to them that they should ensure that Leah Shaibu, nothing happens to Shaibu. That's my appeal.
I agree. That's the subject matter. But let Leah, at this point, be a metaphor for people in that quagmire.
Truly.
So we are dealing with a monstrous group, Ibrahim.
Yeah, see, this, for me, you see, this monstrous group we're talking about, there's nothing human about them, because if they're human, all the atrocities that they've committed on the land, and so this same issue about them being human, that is where we're always missing it. These people are not normal people that you can say, okay, this is what they're fighting for. It's all about fun. If it was just only about the business angle, it would have been a different ball game altogether. Don't forget that by the time they pay this ransom, even everybody will start saying, why is government negotiating with them? Mm-hmm. If government doesn't pay, people say, why is government not paying? Yeah. If the army engages them, they say, oh, human rights. So even the military, their hands are tied at times. When the presidency set up the presidential investigative panel against the military, the army, they felt like they were going to crucify them, the whole military. Because when you are in the battlefield as a soldier with your gun and you are faced with a terrorist, what comes to your mind first? Are you going to be thinking of human rights at that time? Your natural instinct is based on your training. How do I neutralize this threat? So I think...
Especially if the problem on the floor is a conventional one. But this is unconventional?
Yes. Gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Yes.
Gentlemen, I don't accept. The training, you are not... A military man is not a mob. We fight according to code of ethics. And it's well trained. So it's misleading to think that a soldier, because he's in war, he does not do things according to ruls.
Tony, have you not heard the statement, right or wrong, that in war, fair is fair? You know, everything in war is fair.
It is not true.
Okay.
It's not true.
So I'm wondering who wrote
because
that
the military, right from the times of Alexander the Great, who was the ethics of military war. Yeah. The military is one of the most honorable professions.
Yeah.
I tell you just an example. During the Civil War,
Nigerian
Civil War, when one of the commanders, and of course that was in Middle Belt, the States.
Okay.
That's Edo now, Benue.
Okay.
Midwest.
Old, okay.
I don't want to make a nation. When one of the commanders was taking a very line which my colleague is suggesting, another one said, no, we are soldiers. And I can mention the one who said no was Brigadier Godwin Ali. He said, I cannot be part of this. That's a trained soldier. But the other one, who got carried away, did things he shouldn't have done.
And Tony, conversely, I'm sure you remember on the Biafran side, you had a Colonel Achuzia.
Yes.
Yeah. Who threw caution to the wind?
It shouldn't be.
Okay.
It shouldn't be. What I'm trying to correct is that,
yeah.
Let us not mislead ourselves, because, you see, the military is a noble profession.
We agree.
So what does that mean? It means that they do not do things like anybody.
Good.
They do things...
Have you heard...
And because they are disciplined, remember the word discipline is what is coming from Christ. Disciple. Discipline is discipleship. So you are guided. And that's why if you look at even in
But room is made for the Judases. I hope you know.
Sorry?
A room will always be made, however tiny, for the Judases in the 12. You understand?
A room should not be made by a military man. By Boko Haram, maybe, but not by a military man.
But Boko Haram is not a trained group.
Yes, what I'm saying. I'm saying that.
So in dealing with an untrained group,
You don't behave like them.
okay.
If you see, once you start behaving like them,
Yeah.
you run into a problem. You see, this is what we saw in the Vietnam. You know, if you remember My Lai cases in Vietnam, when the people in the American army went that way, what did they do? If you remember the cases, they reinforced the Viet Congs. So I'm saying that the approach to combating whatever is good as guerrilla, the examples are there. See the way the British dealt with the Northern Ireland, you know. See the way in other places, all the examples that have worked is that you deal, is carrot and stick approach.
Good. Have you heard, Ibrahim, just a minute, have you heard of conspiracy theories crisscrossing the land? Some folks are gaining from this morass. Have you heard something like that? And is it plausible?
First of all,
Is it a plausible logic?
First of all, I will respond to you that what is wrong with our situation is lack of capacity and conflict of interest of those who are managing our higher and highest management of our national security.
You may come in now.
You see, you know, I want to disagree with you that we have lack of capacity as a nation.
Not the nation.
Yeah, because when you say our...
No, the higher, not the nation. Nation at all, there's a lot of
the
capacity
higher,
in
they
nation.
control it. You understand? So when you say that, because now we've seen instances where the Nigerian military has gone to AU for support. They've been to Liberia here and there, and they've always come out strong. So then the question you now ask, then what then is happening on our own soil? Which brings us back to the issue of some people
Very pertinent question. Yeah.
You know,
I wish I was asking.
You know, benefiting from that. So what I think we should do is everybody around the world, UN, people should come back together and say, no, look, we're having a different issue here that is conflicting. What's the conflict? This issue of human rights and this. When Theresa May, when there was attack, she went to the parliament and said that if this issue, if our constitution doesn't permit this, we have to change it today. Because there's an issue on ground that has to be tackled. So that is the major problem I think we are facing. If if it means for the world, okay, this issue of human rights we are talking about, all this were put down many, many years ago, which is now causing us problems today. Everything has to be changed. You went to school in 1920, and you still want to use the same syllabus in 2018. It doesn't work. So all these conventions...
Using an old map
yes,
to chart a new
it
course.
has to be changed.
Fantastic.
And until these things are changed, you cannot blame these institutions.
Fantastic. That's my point.
So
My
it has
point
to
is
be changed. And now, our problem is not just, you know, because Nigeria as a country cannot do that alone. We can't do that alone because we are part of the Geneva Convention.
But at this point, Tony,
let me reemphasize why there is a lack of capacity in the highest management of our national security. Clearly, you can't do things over and over the same way and expect the same result. Like Albert Einstein well said clearly, the idea that we have one size, to try to use one size to fit all, is our problem. All along, some of us have been saying, you have to get the local people involved in security. The fact that this government, the highest people managing it, are adamant to that, adamant to having state police, for example, adamant to, in the US today, there was flooding the other day in some states.
Yeah.
Who were the people at the forefront? National Guard. They are states, National Guard, that governor others. I am saying that if you allow in Borno to have indigents in Borno who have their own involvement in it and who see themselves, they will be more active.
Okay, okay.
That is the lack of capacity.
Which will never wish away the conspiracy theories I talk about.
I don't want to get into conflict.
But
I
then,
use the word conflict of interest.
I understand. Okay, okay. Semantics.
No.
But let me take, you talked about the U.S. There's a call from the U.S. Shegun is here. Sure. I greet you, Shegun. Welcome. Yep. Let's go, Shegun.
Uncle Yori, see, the problem with Nigeria today with the
Did you say Uncle Yori? This is Jones, please. Please.
It's been a,
look at my face.
Jones, yes.
Yeah.
It's been a problem of persistent injustice in our country. Injustice. It's been injustice from time ago. And you see, the problem about injustice, when the government has been failing over the years to actually address it, what you have is people form groups and they start rebellion. Now, the biggest problem right now is our military over the years has been abandoned and has not been improving itself. You have a problem of communication. You have a problem of our security service, which they are not having intelligence. Also, and you see, one of the biggest strategies to actually solve this problem, as said, is actually local involvement. But at the same time, you see, they can. One of the other things in the military is logistics. By now, I expect that, you see, our security chief is change all of them and bring the people who have a concrete plan. This is not hard. They need our friends, they need to move a lot of ammunition and start up by taking up all these towns one by one, reclaiming all our these towns that we captured by one by one. And you see, we can't be using towns after we reclaim them. We have to have a concrete plan, a strategic plan.
Yeah, okay.
Use workers that can help and have effective communication combined with the airport that can, at the time, maybe there's actually a raid or something, you call the airport, they can come and they can save, at least people can even hold down the territory.
Thank you, Shegun. Thank you, Shegun. I'm not teasing you if I say you are in a safe environment. Well, yeah, we are still Africans, no less so Nigerians in this case. Yeah. The whole thing about Boko Haram was avoidable from day one.
From day one, it was.
So, brother Tony, we've been a long time coming. The President Commander-in-Chief, as of this morning, is a retired military man. So you can't expect him to sit down in his armchair, and he's aghast. He's concerned. You are saying don't use force.
No, I'm not saying so.
Good.
No.
What are you saying?
No. I'm saying, for example...
Engage.
I'm saying, for example, that at the moment, I'm appealing for the life of Leah Shaibu.
When you release Leah, what happens?
Let me answer you. I have said that I've not at all, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I said we are trained in the military that it is, in kind of this kind of crisis, is carrot and stick approach. That's one. All we are saying is that I have often talked of the strategic option and the immediate. The strategic option we are not following. We need to quadruple the people in arms in Nigeria, in uniform. The army is overstretched. And I pity, they're doing their best. Many people are on tours, lasting much more than they should last on tour. We need more people in the military. That's two. Three, the issue of capacity is very important. You see, let me tell you why I say so. For example, see today's papers. There is something that happened that shows clearly lack of not knowing what it is. That the chief executive of the country is giving instructions to the police. It's wrong. The police go by the law, not by a chief executive. What President Buhari has done, he's misadvised. He should never instruct the IG. The IG for operational should not be instructed by anybody, by the law.
Tony,
I'm not suggesting.
we are not. We are not.
I'm not su-
We are not.
I'm not suggesting that.
We are not corrupting the debate.
I'm not
But
su-
you know,
I'm-
no,
I'm-
hold on.
I'm not su-
But you know, internally,
Yes.
the security of the country is first and foremost the business of the police. That's
Yes,
good.
yes.
So on that score,
Yes.
Mr. President was not necessarily wrong.
Can I answer? Can I
But
respond to
then
that?
let's go on this
The
break.
police is not part of the armed forces. The police
no,
is
no,
unique.
I never said so.
The police is unique.
I never said so.
The police is a civil organization. You see, once you start,
Tony, there's order here.
once the police,
There's order here.
Yes, once
we
the
must
police,
go on this break.
Once the police,
We must go on this break.
Once the
We'll be
police-
back. We'll be back. We'll be back. Please don't go away. All right. I hope you're still with it. Leah Sharibu, the agonizing wait extends. The story is simply this, that an arm of Boko Haram is giving the federal authorities 1 month to pay up a ransom, no figure has been mentioned, or they kill the girl. That's the talking point. And we look at other connecting issues. We still have Ibrahim Abubakar and Colonel Tony Nyam retired guesting. Yeah, Colonel, before we went on.
No, I was trying to say before I misunderstood.
Yeah.
That a police force never takes instructions outside the police. They go by the law. That's the universal practice. Because
In normal times, these times are not the
normal.
best.
Can I answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Even in normal times, the reason is this. The police have to be independent in their action. The moment you start passing, especially where a case where they allege that somebody did certificate fraud, and the government is saying, don't suspend that. You don't do that.
No, sir, look at what happened.
No, don't corrupt
Sir, look
the
at what
discussion.
happened.
I'm not corrupting.
No. Yeah, Ibrahim.
You know, this issue that he said about being, these are not normal times, apart from that, when you look at how we are divided already, we are going 3 days to the Osun election. So if you are inviting this man, it's going to look like which. Let's not forget that everything that is done, they point to Mr. President. That's one. Number 2, the president is the chief security officer of the country, and the police is part of the security formation at the end of the day. So I don't think it's really out of place.
In any security meeting, the police must be
Must be there.
represented.
So it's just to calm the situation
No,
the police, after this time, you can go ahead with your job.
So they should allow illegality to go on.
No.
That
Tony,
is
we are saying in peace time, going by the law.
peace or in wartime, the law prevails.
I am not saying Nigeria is in a war situation, but we are saying these are not the best of seasons.
Peace or wartime.
Boko Haram in any country cannot be it cannot be a kiddie stuff. It cannot be.
The issue in Osun, peace or wartime, is someone committed an offense.
Don't take me to Osun. Let me stay in my lane. And take Yakub is here in Lagos. Yakub, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, citizen.
Yep.
And then good morning to your guests.
Morning.
Let me begin by saying that I want to use this opportunity to tell the Nigerian government to do whatever they can to make sure these Leah Sharibu and other people that are in captivity to release.
Thank you.
Whether to pay the ransom, if they want to use arms, I don't think they will get this guy out lightly. They should be able to pay whatever, because this Leah Sharibu and other people in captivity, they are child of the people, they are women of the people, they were not supposed to be got killed by these people. The Nigerian government should do whatever they can. They will make sure these people come out. I'm not saying that.
Yakub, but I'm sure you know the federal authorities had said if there is anybody, male, female, who can help, this is the time. This is the time. All hands on deck.
Yes, citizen, let me tell you this. Mama Boko Haram come to this very particular studio. He was telling us some certain things that very particular day. I think this is the time that Mama Boko Haram should be approached to help Nigerian government to get this girl and other people in the Boko Haram detention out. If your guest in the studio can say that Mr. President give order to IG, has no right to give to. If this kind of order came, that time that Mohammed Yusuf got arrested in that time in Borno State, if the then president give order that Mohammed Yusuf do not be killed, I don't think that we are going to find ourselves in this kind of situation.
I don't think so. Yakub,
it's okay.
Yakub, I don't think you are suggesting in the same vein or by the same token that the then president ordered for the man to be killed. Yakub, thank you. No. Yakub,
president should give order that time. The moment the Yusuf that was arrested alive and then handing over to police that time must not be got killed. As if been that Mohammed Yusuf was not killed dead, we should know who Nigerian government will channel our discussion to.
Thank you, Yakub. We have been there before. During the Goodluck Jonathan government, there was an Australian who came, if you remember.
Yeah.
What's his name now? Dr. Stephen,
Sure.
Stephen, yeah, offered to mediate, and the whole thing came to naught.
True.
So we're still on that spot.
He was accused as a
But you
fraud.
see,
Still on that spot.
but can I say, that chick girl, I thought there was a negotiation where the other girls were free, Leah Shabu was left. So I am so.
Along with 5 other girls.
What I'm saying,
Tony, always
please, don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm giving
you know why I'm doing Leah Shaibu. Please, don't
She
put.
is the anchor.
No,
I understand.
Don't put my words in
in
my
this
mouth.
discussion.
Don't put my words in my mouth, please.
Yeah.
Leah Shaibu represents something. She's a lady, a young girl of conviction who could have been said, I will not sell my faith. So she's very unique. I'm not at all. I'm saying that the same process which was used to free the other girls, the federal government should go back to that same process and this time ensure that Leah Shaibu is freed. I agree with the last speaker, is that is what is paramount. That's why you see all along I keep on repeating that we have to engage the Boko Haram to ensure that Leah Shaibu is freed.
Yeah.
Ibrahim.
You know, in as much as Leah Sharibu is the anchor of this, the focal point, but we should also understand all others that are in captivity, you have aid workers. And these people, the question we should be asking, yes, while we urge the government to do all it can to make them release those in captivity, then what is the way forward? Does it mean government will have to be paying ransom every time the people are kidnapped, or government should use the right force and look for a way to flush these people out? So that's the most important thing I think we should be concerned about. Yes, government, whatever it is to pay, because no amount is too big for anybody's life. Because these people will still abduct people again if you don't change tactics. Yeah. And so this is the time where we need people like Ahmed Sakilda that have some form of communication channel with the Boko Haram, Mama Taraba, Amnesty International always protecting them. They should come up now, not whenever we have problems. They'll come, we'll see them all over the media, as if they are there to help. It's not.
A question that...
So I don't share in criticizing. Amnesty International are a great group. They've always been. Even the U.S., they pointed out many things the Americans did wrong anywhere. So this issue of always blaming Amnesty International, I don't share it.
They always have misplaced because their research in Nigeria it's not deep.
That's your
opinion. Amnesty International remain a respectable international body.
Yeah.
The point is that we should not be fighting the messengers. All we need to do more. I am saying that in this context where we are now is that we must do everything that this group kidnapped are freed. Because without that, these are lives we're talking about.
So if Leah has refused to become an apostate, if I get you, renounce her faith, I remain a convinced Christian. If that won't get her out, what do we do next?
Sorry?
If Sharibu remains convinced she cannot renounce her faith, what should government... And the people are asking for money.
So what we should do next is what I started by saying.
Yeah.
that the Boko Haram should read their Quran again. Because the Quran says...
Who takes that message to them?
Just, but they are listening now, I can assure you.
Okay.
That the Quran says there's no compulsion. You know, the noble Quran says there's no compulsion in Islam. Secondly,
we have gone past that stage.
We've not gone past. Yeah. We are still talking to them. This is a forum to engage these people. That please, if you will do yourself no disservice and you do not represent Islam, if you do anything to Leah Shaibu,
all right,
and that the government should ensure that they also play their part, like they did with Dapchi Girls.
And this is trusting that Boko Haram will play ball. At the end of the day, this is trusting that Boko Haram will play ball.
I trust in a human being to the last. I do not write off any human being.
I'm talking about Boko Haram. We have a Reverend Dominic. Oh, come on, Tony. Reverend Dominic is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
I greet you, sir.
I greet Connect Tony. I greet you, guest speaker. Good morning.
Good morning.
But let's take this discussion to national level. Is it not time we come to a point in our nation to come at a point to discuss how should we, treat Boko Haram? Do we keep paying them ransom every time they take somebody captive? Or do we diverse and that means? If you watch that video, which I did, what they are looking for is money. They are looking for money. If we can't pay them, they kill this lady. And I want to say to Brother Tony, how do you deal with a man who killed a helpless woman from the back? And as if you don't pay from now to this time, he will kill other 3 women. What is professionalism to deal with him? There's no professionalism to do anybody. Dr. K.O. Kembadiwe said this. A desperate drug is a desperate disease is cured with a desperate drug. We must confront this fool headlong because there's no ideology here. There's no even faith. If there's ideology, but Tony, explain to us. Let me say this and I close. Tony, as a colonel, when you were in military, if a man coming to you with a bomb and you have a gun, how do you react to him? A man coming to you direct with a bomb to kill you and you have a gun. Do you think of rule of engagement in that kind of issue? We must sit down, sir, and discuss how to fight this monster. It's gone out of hand. They will kill this lady if we don't pay. And if we pay, we open more doors to arm them every day.
Thank you. And thank you, Reverend Dominic. Gentlemen, and you can almost tell, I'm not there, if they get any ransom, especially in cash, they use this in buying weapons. Exactly. And prolonging the idiocy, in the land.
Let's not forget that the people that the Boko Haram claimed that were Muslims that were released, did they release them without ransom? They released them after government paid ransom, or even if the government claimed they didn't pay any ransom. But we had news from some quarters that government paid X amount. Now, this Leah Sharibu that they're asking for ransom. Now,
our worry is the authenticity of some of those.
Yes, so that's why I said that we heard this. But now they are saying, oh, release this. If we don't get this, we'll kill this. So is the issue, is she being held because of her religion, or she's being held because of the money they are looking for now? So there are two things. Because if she's held because of her religion, you think these people get the ransom and just release her? That's one. Or if she's been held because of the ransom, so how can you trust these people? So it's a different arrangement. I think that the military needs to look for a way of getting those in captivity, because they have even had people, even as far as last year, that have been in captivity, not just
the original girls that were kidnapped are still, some of them
we are not hearing about some of them anymore. We are not hearing anything about them.
Some of those girls are still.
Let me.
That's which is the original group now.
Let me respond to the Reverend.
Yeah.
If someone wants to shoot me with a gun, I'll shoot the person first.
Why?
Just a minute. Let me finish, please. But if the person who tries to shoot me misses and starts turning and going away, I won't shoot him.
Tony, in a film on a real life situation.
No. You see, to kill someone, in self-defense, I will kill. But if the person, after he made a mistake,
If his gun stalls
yes,
and it won't blow.
I will not kill.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But that's not a creed or a credo with Boko Haram.
No, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm trying to respond to the chap who thinks that as a soldier. All I'm saying is that what we have now, we have a young girl whose life is at stake. And I will do everything to ensure that this young girl's life is saved. So my appeal, I'm not that I like Boko Haram. Far from it.
Nobody had said so.
Far from that. No. I am appealing to them that's why I use the word that I'm even using their Quran to say that what they are doing is not in the Quran, it's against the Quran.
They never told you they were fighting a religious cause. They never told you that.
They said so. They said the word, if you look at their inner, what is the word? Inner, the full name of Islam, Boko Haram, before we are calling them Boko Haram.
Tony, don't pander. It won't help us here.
No,
Alaba
is
help. Reaching us from Ibadan. Alaba, good morning. Welcome. Okay, lost the connection to him. Yeah, Ibrahim.
You know.
So he just painted the picture. The man made to shoot him first. His gun stalled.
I don't think he'll do that.
I will not shoot him.
Well, you know.
Okay.
It's a sin as a Christian.
I agree. Now, in war, Christianity or any other faith will go to sleep. I hope you know
Not
that.
at all. You're making a mistake.
Okay.
You see, the military came from Alexander the Great was one of the greatest religious
Tony,
persons.
you are preaching here. We are dealing with a Boko Haram, which is neither religious
I'm not preaching.
nor anything else.
I'm not preaching. You see,
These people are monsters.
You're dealing with a terror gang.
The mistake we are making is this.
Yeah.
Anytime human beings push aside spirituality and think that they can deal with the immediate, they will be wrong.
Tony, I cannot quarrel with your school, but I am saying Boko Haram is a reality.
Yes.
We nurtured it.
Yes.
It's now become a Frankenstein.
Yes.
Haunting the whole country.
Fight them fight them in a very...
In a religious way.
No. Fight them in a professional way, not in an unprofessional way like they are doing.
See, you know, let's also, you see,
I must be missing something you are trying to pass to me.
No, see, most of the countries that even tell you that, okay, human rights, this and that, they have their ways of engaging this terrorist group that you will never hear of.
That is it.
But you understand?
Fantastic.
Good. And at the end of the day, when it might be, if you have any idea what it is, it's most times very ugly, which will violate even the Geneva Convention.
All right, let me quickly take us to Makode. Divine is waiting. Divine, good morning, welcome.
Yeah, good morning, Citizen John.
Yeah.
And good morning to your guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Citizen John, you see, the issue of Lai Sharibu is a thing that we should be concerned to everyone. We should not look at it as if there is a religion issue. If others have been paid ransom to release them, which the government denies, we still believe that they can still do equally the same, just as the retired colonel.
Are you confirming that the government paid money?
No, they did not agree.
No, are you confirming it, Divine?
No, I'm not confirming it because we have no evidence that with other reports that they say they are paid. So what I'm saying in essence is this. In any way that others have been released, it will also be applied.
That's it.
Well, that's the point. It's not whether... Go on, Divine.
We should also stop the issue of politicizing the security. The security is being publicized. That is the issue. Let Abacha say that if any crisis is not stopped in 24 hours, the government hand is in it. Okay?
Divine, government is a continuum. If I told you at the beginning, and I'm sure you know this, 2002 to date is more than 10 years. Boko Haram started like a corn, a seed you planted, and it is germinating. So what do you do at this point? Go to the taproot or just cut the corn midway?
No. The government has every resources to cut the taproot.
That's it.
The government has the resources to cut the taproot. But in as much as they are playing politics with it, they cannot cut it.
Sometimes when Divine, you as a viewer, is taking a position and placing it on me, I don't know what you want me to do. Thank you for your call. Brother Tony, I take you to Afghanistan. Sure. When President Trump dropped MOAB, Mother of All Bombs, targeting the Taliban, was it obeying international law?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
No. You see, you can take on, once there is a threat and you see the threat is going to kill people, you can deal with it.
Boko Haram threat is not enough?
No, we are talking about the context of Leah Shaibu's life at stake in a month. Please, we must remember that. I keep on repeating that. All I'm saying in the context of Leah Shaibu, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
Leah is released today. What happens next?
Now, if Leah is literally, all I've been advocating all along is that this issue of restructure the national security architecture to allow Nigerians be more participatory in its rule. At the moment, what we have is like we have the old colonial mentality of as if we have forces of occupations in places, so that people don't see the military or police as theirs. I'm saying restructure in such a way that people see the military and the police as theirs.
All right. Ibrahim, there's the other angle to the whole thing. You lead the Save Humanity Advocacy Center.
Yeah.
Debriefing Nigerians at a time like this is a tall order vis-a-vis security, national security.
Yeah.
How do you debrief them?
Well, it's a very complex situation.
I mean, Divine just called in now to say, blah, 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 somebody paid and so on. More like saying, pay ransom anytime it comes up.
Yeah, you know, first of all, let's be concerned about those in captivity, which they should look, the government should do whatever they can to release, yes, which I totally agree with. But the point that I always stand on is not just, you know, those in captivity now. It's how do we take this out? That's my concern.
Okay.
You know, which it goes back to the books. The laws
Algeria
be,
and Colonel Nyam would agree that in Algeria, government dealt decisively with terrorists there. And today there's relative calm in that country.
Government should deal with terrorists. They should.
All right. Charles is in the UK. He has joined us. Charles, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, hello. Good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir.
And good morning to your partners, Colonel and Ibrahim.
Morning,
Good
please.
morning.
Citizen Jones. True, the reality there is this Boko Haram will be fighting for many years. We have been dragging Nigeria's economy down. We have been spending billions of dollars fighting Boko Haram. These people, they are caused an ideology issue. It's not something that you can be using gun, dragging your country economically, say you're fighting somewhere that you don't see this person come out and strike and go back to wherever they. The reality is this. They are fighting for ideology. The only way to counter people is go to the community because they are human beings. These people are where they came out from. So we need to stop deceiving ourselves that with all this, they are just criminals, they are just fighting for whatever. No, they are fighting for the ideology. That is the reality there. You know?
Okay.
So, like about the girl, when you're talking about, let the government do whatever to get that girl's child out of that.
Okay.
We watched in this television, this program, where about 500 Boko Haram was released. You said you went to take them to rehabilitate them. So whatever it takes, this girl is an example that can strike Nigeria up or down. So that is the reality. Let's be honest to ourselves and tell us the truth.
Thank you, Charles.
We need to do whatever.
Thank you, Charles.
If they want to release 1,000 of Boko Haram in the captivity, let them do it and release it.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
See, if you
Ibrahim, you are rounding off.
Yes, now when you look at the Al Qaeda and ISIS and how they came about, it's not the same with Boko Haram. Boko Haram started like people who felt cheated from one part of the country.
Yeah.
Okay, we're part of this system, and all of a sudden we are no more part of it. That's how it came about. And they didn't come with maybe, oh, it's all about we are Muslims, because if you remember, they said they were killing Christians then. Later, when the tactics didn't work, they started killing Muslims. They were bombing only churches. When it didn't work, because they were thinking there was going to be reprisal attacks, they started attacking mosques. So which of the book are they using when you say it's ideology? These are criminals that tend to deceive people with whatever they feel. Today they say this, tomorrow they say
10
this.
seconds. So,
Yeah.
to you, Leah Shaibu,
Government
we should do anything,
we should do anything
and everything.
but to release her, not just only her. There are others in captivity.
Yeah.
So that we're always getting wrong. So the government should do everything to release them, and ultimately, this is time for everybody, the international community,
Thank you.
to look at changing whatever conventions, whatever they have on the book.
Thank you, Ibrahim.
Help this.
Yeah.
I think basically, I appeal to those who say they are Boko Haram, that it will be lose-lose for them if anything happens to the life of Leah Shaibu. I'm appealing to them that they should read their noble Quran, and they will see that the guy's life should be left. And also, I appeal to our government that the same way, like someone said earlier, they used to free the Muslim girls from Dapchi, they should use it strongly to free Leah Shaibu. Thank you.
All right, then. Our job is done. Ours is just to provoke the debate and allow you to make up your mind. Our hearts collectively will go out to Leah Sharibu, and by extension, all those in the hapless situation she has found herself. We caused this problem, and only man can solve it. I'm out of here. We are here tomorrow. Bye-bye now.